What is up, guys? Justin here with a pickups video. A big variety of pickups in this video and some pretty quality pickups at that. I got stuff from all over the place, Goodwill, Facebook, Craigslist, and what could be the last finds of the 2016 garage sale season. So let's hop right into this. I'm going to start out with what I found at Goodwill, my one and only Goodwill find for this video. I walked in there, and sitting right in their glass case up front was a boxed N64 game. And I think I still have a picture of it that I took sitting in the glass case. I'll throw it up right here for you guys. And you might be able to make it out there. It's a copy of Penny Racers. But not only was it boxed and complete, it was actually brand new, factory sealed. As you guys can see the shrink wrap on there. I already took the price sticker off the front here. It was marked for $9.99 at the Goodwill. I took the sticker off because I didn't want it to, get set on there and be harder to remove and potentially rip the plastic, but I think I got it off pretty well. And $9.99, can't go wrong with that price. I think Penny Racers is one of those games that, card only is a little more uncommon, but it's not expensive by any means. It is pretty hard to find complete in box though, let alone brand new factory sealed. I was trying to look up a value on this and I really couldn't. I was looking on eBay and stuff, and I think there's one sealed copy that is sold in the last 3 months that went for $100. But other than that, there is none that are listed or sold. So it's kind of hard to put a value on it, but either way, I know that $9.99 was a hell of a deal for this game. Kind of odd that this was the only N64 game they had there. I can't imagine they had more at any point. I don't know why someone wouldn't have bought this one too, but yeah, sweet addition to the collection there. I'll move on next to another N64 game. This was actually a Facebook deal. I was cruising through one of our local classified pages, and I saw someone had posted a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day for $45, I believe. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good deal for it. And I saw the post was a few days old. I figured it was long gone. But I messaged the guy, and surprisingly, he said he still had it. And so I offered $30 for it. He wasn't having that. So then I offered $40, and he got a little bit chippy with me. He's like, he gave me a hard no on the $40, and I was like, oh, okay, just let me know if you change your mind. Well, sure enough, a few days later, the guy changes his mind. And so we're trying to figure out a time and place to meet, and he's just really rubbing me the wrong way, saying stuff like, oh, like, yeah, you better have the $40, like, I'm counting it before I give you the game, stuff like that, and, kind of just put me off. So I was really in no hurry to get this, and really didn't even care if I ended up with this, but we did end up finding a time and place to meet. It still ended up being really sketchy. He, wouldn't show me the game until I showed him that I had the $40. I've never had that happen before, but anyway, I did end up with the copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day. And so I had to go right to work after picking this up, and I was just anxious all day to get home and test this to make sure that, it actually worked and was the right game and not like Madden or something, because I wouldn't put it past this guy to try and pull something like that. But no, I tested it. I think I got a screenshot of it too. It is Conker's Bad Fur Day. So for $40, that was a pretty sweet deal. I think that's about half of what it goes for retail, and a pretty cool Facebook find. Moving on to the Craigslist deal that I did, and this one actually has an interesting story to go along with it as well. I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago, I had seen someone post on our local Craigslist 2 brand new factory sealed Zelda games for the GameCube, and they were asking $80 each for them, so clearly they knew what the games were worth. But I took a shot. I emailed them and said, hey, look, I'll give you $80 for both of them if you're interested. Let me know. Never heard back from them. But every few weeks since then, I've seen this ad get reposted and reposted and reposted for the same price. So just last week I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a shot on this. I emailed them again and offered $100, and this time they got back to me and said yes, that they would take $100 for both of them. And we ended up meeting up, I think it was the next day even, and it ended up being a 72-year-old guy and his wife, which was kind of odd, but here's what I got for $100. Brand new factory sealed copy of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And the other one was brand new Zelda The Wind Waker. Player's choice, which kind of sucks, but I'll take it. And so I definitely checked these out when he handed them to me, and I told him, hey, look, like I definitely want to check them out before I pay for them and everything, and he was cool with it. So I made sure the seals were legit. Did a little research beforehand on what a sealed GameCube game is supposed to look like, and these are, as far as I can tell, legit. The only issue with the Twilight Princess, which you probably won't be able to see, is a tiny, tiny, tiny hole in the shrink wrap on the spine there, which I probably can't even show on camera, it's too small. But other than that, they both look really nice. Maybe a little scrape on the back of the plastic on the Wind Waker, which again you probably can't see. But yeah, $100 for both of these. Pretty sweet deal. I think Twilight Princess sealed alone goes for about $100. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this one for my collection. And what I'm probably going to do is flip the Player's Choice Wind Waker and hopefully come across a Black Label one sealed sometime in the future, but just to get some of my money back because I've already got the game opened, as I do with Twilight Princess as well. So $100, kind of an odd find for our local Craigslist, but I'll take it. Be very careful with those. So for this next Facebook group deal, I got pretty lucky because I had completely missed the original post for this stuff, and I actually got tagged by somebody that I previously purchased game stuff off of from Facebook. She knows that I'm looking for game stuff, so if she ever sees a post, she tags me in the comments. So I got a notification. I went to the ad and was just like, how did I miss this? I mean, there was N64 stuff, GameCube stuff, Game Boy stuff, PS1 stuff, Xbox stuff. And the post was a few days old. There was a ton of comments on it. I was like, this stuff is long gone. But I was surprised when I messaged the lady, and she told me that she still had most of it. I had missed the Game Boy lot, which kind of sucked because it was like 3 different Game Boys along with a handful of Pokemon games for a decent price. But I did end up getting the GameCube and the N64 bundle from her. Paid a little bit more than I normally would, but there was one game in here that I really wanted for my collection, so I figured that justified it. I'll let you guys know what I paid for it all at the end, but let's get into it. I'll start out with the GameCube stuff. I got a black GameCube system. Looks like the later model with the digital AV out on the back. It's not in great shape. It's got a ton of scratches on the top of it, so I'm hoping that still works. It came with quite a few controllers though. We got a clear Mad Catz controller, one of these orange Spice controllers. I was really happy to see this. This one's in pretty nice shape. The joystick was really like sticky and stuff when I got it, but it cleaned up all right. And it had a black controller in there, a silver controller, and then finally it had a platinum Wavebird controller. Now the thing that sucks about this is that it is missing the rubber on the joystick. But it did come with the receiver here, and I actually have a Wavebird controller only at the moment that I've been looking for a receiver for, so I'll probably pair this with that one because it's in a lot better shape. And there was a few other accessories in here as well. It came with a power cord and an AV cord, and then a few memory cards here, like 3 Mad Catz one and then a first party black one. And this game case, which I believe had one disc only game in it, Freedom Fighters. So transitioning to the rest of the GameCube games here, I was actually really disappointed with the condition of these GameCube games. Like all but one of them are just scratched to hell, which sucks because there's actually some decent titles in here. A few of them are definitely worth getting resurfaced, but it just sucks that only one of them was like even playable. Yeah, I'll start out with Call of Duty Finest Hour. That was complete. Most of them were complete. I think there was only 2 that were missing the manual. Dinotopia, The Sunstone Odyssey, Need for Speed Underground 2, Die Hard Vendetta, this one feels like it's missing a manual, X2 Wolverine's Revenge, Dr. Muto, Aggressive Inline, Crazy Taxi, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, X-Men Next Dimension, Animal Crossing, that one's missing a manual too. And finally, the only one that wasn't scratched to hell was Resident Evil 4. Player's choice, but it did have both discs in there. And this is the only one that even looked semi-playable. So that sucks that they were all pretty scratched up. I'll get a few of those resurfaced. Not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of them. There was also this in there. It's the bonus disc for Mario Kart Double Dash. And underneath it was just a bunch of DVD RWs like GameCube format, at least the same size as GameCube discs. So I don't know if there's anything on these discs or not. I'm curious because there was this other one in there that said GC game on it. So I don't know if you could burn GameCube games. I've never heard of anyone doing that, but when I test the system, I will stick this one in and see what it is, if anything. But that was all for the GameCube stuff. I'll clear myself a little room here, and I'll show you guys the N64 stuff I got with the deal. It was a black system here, and I just had the jumper pack in there. But what was funny is, in the picture they sent me of it, there's this transfer pack that came with it, and so the jumper pack was taken out of the system, and they had the transfer pack in there, like stuffed in there, like where the jumper expansion pack would go. I don't know if this actually fits in there, but it was just funny that they thought that was where it was supposed to go. Anyway, though, moving on to the controllers I got with it. The only first party one I got was this one here, this gray one. And I thought these were first party from the picture, but they're not. They're these blue controllers. They don't say like Nintendo at the top or anything, which I couldn't really make out in the picture. So that sucks. I don't know. I've never had luck with these, getting them to work. But yeah, I had the power adapter down here, which I'm not going to dig out, memory card. And then here are the games I got with it. And again, this was like the main reason that that I wanted this deal. So let's go through these here. We got Mission Impossible, Diddy Kong Racing, and you'll notice most of these games have a name written on the side here. And the funny part about this is I actually know whose games these were. I graduated with this kid, and so I kind of knew who his mom was. I bought all this stuff off of his mom, and she kind of knew who I was. But yeah, normally I wouldn't show people's names or anything, but if they're going to write them in permanent marker on the edges of all their games, I don't know what more I can do. Supercross 2000, Jet Force Gemini, Top Gear Overdrive, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, sorry, Star Fox 64, a gold cartridge, Ocarina of Time. It's been a while since I've seen this one. Unfortunately, it's not in great shape. There's a lot of label damage on the front there, and one of the clips from the bottom is rattling around in there. So hopefully, maybe I can glue that back down. I've been able to do it before with games, so we'll see on that. Madden 2000, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, NBA Courtside 2, Buck Bumble, 1080 Snowboarding, and finally the one that I was super excited to get from my collection, and basically the only reason I paid what I paid for this deal, it was Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber, one of the few N64 games that I still need for the collection. I feel like I say that every time I get a new N64 game now. I remember saying it when I got like that Goemon's Great Adventure a few videos ago, and now this one. But I think the only like expensive N64 game I still need is Bomberman, the Bomberman Second Attack. So if anyone has that, hit me up. I would possibly be interested in a trade. But yeah, I'll have to do some cleaning up on this one, but still super excited to get that one for the collection. Now, what did I pay for all that? I paid $180 for everything, which is way more than I would normally pay for a lot like that. But the lady kind of knew what she had. I got her down from like 200, 220-ish down to the 180. And I don't know, I figured in my head everything together was probably worth around $250, but with all those GameCube games being so scratched, I don't know that it's worth that much, maybe around $200. But even still, I think that if I flip everything or trade everything that I already have, which is most of it, I should end up with Ogre Battle 64 for free-ish. Some would argue that that's a lot of work to get one free game. I wouldn't argue with that, but you know, it's all in the fun of collecting, right? So add that one to the collection. Let me clear myself some room here, and then I'll show you guys what could possibly be the final finds of the 2016 garage sale season that I got this morning. So I didn't get any footage while I was out driving around at the sales this morning. I think I had like 4 sales on my list to go to, and the only reason I got up this morning to go is because 3 of them had advertised video game stuff. A couple of them I got lucky and found the post on Facebook, so they had like pictures and stuff. I kind of scoped out what they had. But I did pretty good for only hitting 4 sales this morning in torrential downpouring rain, which is still coming down out my window there. I can see it. Anyway, so the first sale I stopped at I found a bunch of original Xbox games along with DS and some Game Boy stuff. So I'll go through these here. The guy was asking $2 each for them, but I asked, if I get a bunch of them, if they'd give me a deal on them. They said yes, so I think I picked out like 14 or 15 of them, and they sold them to me for 20 bucks. So we got Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and all these are in really nice shape. I mean, they all have price stickers on them, but all the discs I looked at were like immaculate. Ghost Recon Island Thunder. I don't know that I've ever had this one. Interesting. Commandos Strike Force. I don't think I've ever had that one either. Or this one, World War II Prisoner of War, a Codemasters game. Interesting. This ended up being a pretty interesting Xbox lot here. Conflict Desert Storm 2, Splinter Cell, the first one, Ghost Recon, the first one, From Russia with Love, 007, Midtown Madness 3, I think I've had that one before. Starsky and Hutch, Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, Conflict Vietnam, and this is the Wii game, My Fitness Coach. I don't know why I grabbed that one. I think I just figured I could get it thrown into the bundle for free, so I grabbed it. And then this Xbox 360 bundle, which I've never seen before, it is Viva Pinata, Shrek the Third, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, that's the slipcover for it. But the games inside are actually Pocket Bike Racer, Big Bumpin', and Sneak King. So, I don't know what happened there, how these three Burger King games ended up in this slipcover. Not sure, but I think they consider this one game, so I think I only paid like $1 or $2 for all three of those, so I don't know. That was odd. So 20 bucks for those, and then also they had a... Well, originally I saw this Nerf case here for a DS and thought it was just the case, but it's actually a DS system. I don't know what color it is because I can't get this case off. I've tried for like 15 minutes before this video to get this case off there, and short of breaking it, I don't know what I can do. So I will try again, and if I am successful, I will maybe take a picture and show you guys what color this is. They didn't have the charger there, they didn't know if it worked, so I obviously couldn't offer a lot for it. Gave them $5 for it, they were happy with that, and they also threw in these Game Boy games that they had sitting next to it. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dark Duel Stories, and Racing Cats. So I think all that was $25, right? 20 for the Xbox games, and then 5 for the DS and those Game Boy games. And then from the... Well, I stopped at one sale, didn't find anything. The next sale I hit had some PS2 stuff, which they sold me for $1 each. We got You Don't Know Jack for the PS1. The rest of these were PS2 games. Ratchet, Deadlocked, God of War, the first one, Jak and Daxter, and Jak 2, Jak 3, a disc only, but it was Katamari Damacy, Ratchet and Clank, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, and Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. So a couple cool complete series there. At least I think they're complete. And then they had also had one Wii game, Neopets Puzzle Adventure. It's a Capcom title. So yeah, there was $11 for the 11 of those, I think. Pretty nice. And then at the very last sale I stopped at for the day, this was actually the same sale I got a Game Boy and a few games from a couple weekends ago. I never showed that in a video because those are the only finds for that weekend. But these were from the same sale. They had some DS games this time. We got Animal Crossing Wild World, which was complete. Looks like it has everything in there too. It's a really heavy case. And then Harvest Moon DS. It's just the case and the game. Case is kind of cracked in the bottom there. But yeah, those were marked for $5 each. But they sold them both to me for $7. So yeah, those could be the final finds of the 2016 garage sale season. You know, it's mid-September right now, and garage sales up here in mid-September are almost unheard of. I don't recall any time in the past 3 years where I was still going to garage sales in the middle of September. Normally it's way too cold by this time. But aside from the rain, torrential rain, it was not that cold out. So anyway, Maybe I'll go again next weekend. I don't know how much is going to be going on. I don't even know if I'm going out tomorrow, Saturday, because there's only a few sales going on, and you know, none of them are openly advertising game stuff. So we'll see on that. But I figured I'd film this video today since I had quite a bit of stuff to show. Hopefully it didn't get too long. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out the video. And until next time, take care.